Today's topic is nutritional yeast. Called Nooch for short, this deactivated yeast has become tremendously popular as a flavoring and cheese substitute, especially in vegan diet. And trust me, it tastes a lot better than it sounds. So today, we are going to look at nutritional yeast all the way down to the chemical level and talk about its effect on the body. To better understand Nooch, we have to talk about how yeast works when it is activated. So, activated yeast is actually living. It belongs to the fungus kingdom. It is single-celled and basic. And I'm not talking about the slang referring to people with AirPods and Supreme clothes. By basic, I mean that yeast is not complex enough to perform photosynthesis, like a plant can to get its food. Rather, it just feeds off the sugars present. This process is known as fermentation, which converts the sugars off the bread into carbon dioxide and alcohol. The most popular type of yeast in the baking industry belongs to the species called, and brace yourself, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, meaning sugar eating. Living yeast uses the sugars and oxygen to multiply and sustain itself. If the yeast has sufficient oxygen, as part of aerobic respiration, it would break the sugars into carbon dioxide and water. But in a bread, there isn't sufficient oxygen, so it can't break the sugar down fully. So in baking, the products end up being alcohol and CO2. The release of CO2 as a gas is what gives the bread an airy and fluffy texture. It causes the rise of the bread, and due to the heat, the alcohol is simply evaporated. The bread would actually continue to rise until the internal temperature of the bread, not the oven, reaches around 130 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, let's just be proud of this masterpiece I drew right here. So how is nutritional yeast different? Basically, for nutritional yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae is grown on a sugar-rich or molasses medium because it needs that sugar to multiply. However, for Nooch, it is deactivated by intense heat in which it will die off. Okay, now let's look at some of the benefits of nutritional yeast. It is full of 6 different water-soluble vitamin Bs, B1, B2, B3, B6, B9, also called folic acid, and B12. Each of these vitamins are known as cofactors. Cofactors attach to enzymes, changing their shape to make it a better fit for the reactants. In summary, they speed up essential chemical reactions in the body. So, they both assist in the functioning of enzymes by changing their shape. All of these vitamin Bs found in nutritional yeast are either cofactors or coenzymes for a grand collection of many different processes, such as maintenance of nerve cells, energy metabolism, hormone production, breakdown of fat and protein, hemoglobin synthesis, synthesis of DNA, brain function, and formation of red blood cells. That was a huge list, and it shows just how important vitamin Bs are. Furthermore, vitamin B12 is not made by humans, so we need to include it in our diet. A vitamin B12 deficiency can lead to irreversible nerve damage, leading to difficulty in communication between the brain, muscles, and organs, and even impair sensory functions. With age, a deficiency can cause muscle weakness, painful cramps, uncontrollable twitching, trouble sensing pain, or changes in temperature, walking, and keeping your balance. Lack of B6 is known to contribute to irritability and depression. Along with the prevention of all these horrible things, it is full of protein. It actually provides more protein per calorie than any other meat. In comparison to actual cheese, Nooch contains very little sodium. Hypertension is hugely believed to be because of such a salt-heavy diet. As we talked about in the lemons video, water is attracted to ions because of the difference in charge, so it will follow salt into the bloodstream and cause that extra fluid, leading to high blood pressure. This can lead to heart disease, rupture of blood vessels, stroke, and damage to kidneys. Furthermore, usage of nutritional yeast instead of cheese will definitely lower calorie intake and may be useful for cheese lovers trying to lose weight. Nooch also includes essential electrolytes like zinc, selenium, magnesium, and potassium. Again, more about the importance and chemistry of electrolytes and a quick lesson about atoms in the lemon video. But to sum up, electrolytes are needed for the body's electrical impulses, regulation of blood pressure, and the functioning of enzymes. Nooch is also full of antioxidants, which prevent many chronic diseases. I also want to talk specifically about two different sugars called trehalose and beta-glucans present in Nooch. Trehalose maintains the health of brain function and is known as a super stabilizer of proteins and allows for the functioning of enzymes because enzymes are actually proteins. Generally, sugars protect proteins from drying up and losing water, which is when they won't function anymore. They do this by creating a hydrogen bond to the dry protein and becoming a water replacement. Along with this, trehalose increases surface tension of water, which means that more of it can fit in a smaller space, so the protein stays more hydrated. Beta-glucans are known to benefit the immune system, provide anti-tumor, anti-inflammatory, anti-obesity qualities, and slow osteoporosis. It is also shown to lower blood cholesterol that leads to atherosclerosis and heart disease. So now, let's get to the fun part, how you can use nutritional yeast in food. It can be a topper for foods like popcorn, pizza, pasta, French fries, and soup. It can be baked into crackers, breads, incorporated into mac and cheese, or even used in marinade for healthy lean meats or tofu. You can even make a cheese-like dip for nachos, sandwiches, and vegetables.